well,
she was
Thalia
thinking they flew or something. I don't.
Yeah, not quite sure, but it is pretty cool to see a werewolf deck.
Yeah. And werewolves are pretty powerful now.
So she's got 2 blasphemous act in the sideboard. Blasphemous is a tough word to say. It's a blasphemous. 2 blasphemous act in the sideboard.
And now Garrick Relentless also.
Oh yeah, she's got
pretty
4 of those
awesome
in the
a
main.
deck like this, making wolves to go with your Immerwolf and your Mayor of Averbrook.
Right. She's got another Devil's Play. Still not really any removal spells. She's got, some Ancient Grudge and Naturalize for artifact removal, but not really. We didn't see any from Cassata in that game, although we know he has Sword of War and Peace, which might be worth hitting, considering the pro red might be relevant. But I don't know if I don't know if I'd bring in any artifact removal.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against humans here. I think this matchup has to be pretty good for Mary. She definitely sides in her blasphemous acts. She can get a Garrick on the table,
and maybe another Devil's Play. I don't even know.
I don't know. I guess you have to bring in the other Devil's Play just because it kills Mirror Crusader.
Yeah, and it's pretty much
pretty
her
important.
only out besides 1 Ratchet Bomb that take forever to kill Mirror Crusader.
Yeah, and she's probably bringing the Ratchet Bomb as a means to deal with cards like Gather the Townsfolk.
Or even a couple of the tokens that we've... Gather obviously produces tokens, but even things like the Doom Traveler obviously almost killed her. She was at 1 life when she won that game. Now, Cassata has... let's see, he's got Revoke Existence. He's got Leonin Relic Warder. An additional Sword of War and Peace, and 2 Sword of Feast and Famine. I mean, he could bring in the swords because they both give relevant protection. He's got 2 Dismember, 3 Timely Reinforcements, which actually don't seem too bad here.
Oh, so what we're talking about with the human so tight, we're talking about earlier on in the game when she had 2 Mayor of Averbrook in play and 2 Reckless Waifs in play while they were all still humans. We understand that the werewolves are not humans once they flip. Just as a clarification. Alright, so shoveling up for game 2. Now, Joseph in his sideboard here, I think the sort of Feast and Famines are probably coming in. And I'm not sure if he wants to bring in timely reinforcements. It seems unlikely that he's going to be behind on the board if he's not, losing already.
Yeah, that's pretty much... I mean, timely reinforcements is one of those cards that lives up to its name pretty well, but if you're not losing, then it's kind of a dead card. So there we see Thalia again, the 2/1 first strike.
Yes, it has first strike.
It has first strike.
A cheaper Glow Rider with first strike. Mary without a 1 or 2 drop.
She's decided to play red-green control for this game.
Hey, the werewolf deck actually only has 8 cards that cost 2 or less mana here that are creatures.
Yeah, so no Mayors, no Reckless Waifs.
And it looks like she's getting behind very quickly.
Yeah, so Thalia comes in and a Crusader hits the board. Crusader's going to be a problem. Mary looks like she wanted to cast something there, maybe an Immerwolf or
That's a Daybreak Ranger.
Daybreak Ranger, okay.
And Daybreak Ranger, starting to see a lot more play now. I think Daybreak Ranger is a card that has yet to see its day in the sun.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like a really good card. It's just not.
As if Standard ever becomes a format where people are, trying to play a lot of mid-range creatures, I think Daybreak Ranger is just one of the best cards you could have.
And Joe gets in with Crusader and Thalia, and then adds a Hero of Bladehold to the board. So Mary looks to be under quite an amount of pressure here now.
Yeah, I think she's going to be forced to just pass the turn here. Her deck doesn't really have a reliable spell that kills Hero of Bladehold, so she's going to need to flip that Daybreak Ranger and then kill the Hero of Bladehold. Unfortunately, she's going to have to kill it before the combat step, so she's still going to take the full hit for 6 from the Mirror Crusader and the Thalia.
Right.
But she does just get a free card out of it. Oh no, she chooses to tap out, and she's probably going to cast a Huntsmaster the Fells?
Yeah, it looks like she was thinking about it, and she maybe changed her mind.
And that seems reasonable. I think the Daybreak Ranger is just... You really need to flip that right now. She has like a Moon Mist in hand or something and wants to cast a Huntmaster. It's probably fine. Probably not. I mean, Joe gets the tokens from the hero. She just gets so far behind on the board. Going to 6 really isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, she's really wrestling with that decision. She's tapped and untapped those lands about 3 or 4 times.
Ooh.
Devil's play.
That's interesting. She could have just done that next turn. Now Joe's going to get a whole bunch of tokens from his hero. And I mean, she didn't even have to spend a card. She's actually going to take more damage this way than otherwise. And she can't block with her Daybreak Ranger because she'll just trade with a token.
Yeah, it's actually not that great of a trade here. Oh, and
yeah,
Honor's
now
just
she's
going to make it even
basically
worse.
Dead. Hero's basically attacking for 10. Plus Thalia is another 3, so it's an attack for 13 points of damage. It doesn't really matter what she blocks. Everything's attacking for 3 except the hero, which is attacking for 4. So, I mean, she can block a token and trade, but
that's their best option right now.
Yeah, had she simply passed the turn with the Daybreak Ranger, she could have used the Daybreak Ranger's fight ability to have killed the Hero of Bladehold, and then she would have taken 8 damage from the Mirror Crusader and another 3 from the Thalia and dropped to 1 here. And then on her next turn, she could have Devil's played the Mirror Crusader, and then, or rather, she could have fought the Thalia, then Devil's played the Daybreak Ranger,
the Mirror Crusader.
Mirror Crusader, and then, or I guess you just want to Devil's play the Mirror Crusader, and then you can block plus fight with.
Yeah, that's fair too.
But at this point, she's definitely just out of the game completely. She could have a Blasphemous Act, and it's the only card she has here as an option. But even if she has the Blasphemous Act, she's still dead because she's at 2, and he has a Doom Traveler that will die and give him a Spirit, which is a 2/2. So she's out of this one. Looks like we're going to see a game 3 here.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, game 1 looked pretty rough for her too, and I think she was kind of lucky to get out of that one.
Oh my goodness. Mary seems to be upset about something.
Yeah, she's a little frustrated.
Maybe she just realizing the thing with the Reckless Waves from game 1. She could have, where she had 3 3s in her opponent attack with 2 2s.
But I mean, you can't be that upset. I mean, I guess you're like, oh, I guess I could have done that. I still won that game. Doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, I'll remember now in the future. I wouldn't be like too upset with myself unless I punted a game, like because I made a mistake. If you learn, as long as you know that you did it,
yeah, I mean,
get it right going forward. It actually didn't.
That's what it takes to make right plays, is to make the wrong ones and lose because of it.
Exactly. Or just make the wrong ones and be corrected too. Like that helps. Yeah, I mean,
some people on Twitter are saying that Hero is a 4/5 with Honor of the Peer, but the Honor of the Peer was not in play yet, so she could have flipped the Daybreak Ranger and fought it before the Honor of the Peer
Honor of the Peer came in.
Just to clarify that for the people on Twitter.
She could have done that, even in response to the Honor of the Pure, although I don't know that she would have waited until he cast something. Maybe she would have.
Probably just better to do it during his...
It doesn't matter. Like, first main phase, if he plays Honor of the Pure, she does it in response to that.
Yeah.
If not, he just says move to combat, and she says hold up before combat, kill it.
Yeah.
So...
And she doesn't know if he's playing the new card that gives permanent he controls protection from the color
Faith's Shield or something
Faith's
like that?
Shield, yes. And if you have Fateful Hour, it just gives her all team protection.
All right, well, there's a Reckless Wave from Mary, and a Doom Traveler from Joseph.
And Doom Traveler outclassing the Reckless Wave for now. Mary with a turn 2 Rootbound Crag and no play. She gets to flip her Reckless Wave, turn it into a 3/2.
It's now a Merciless Predator. It's tough to remember the flip side names of cards. It's like the flipped Reckless Wave, the flipped Delver, the flipped Mayor of Edelbrock. Alright, so another Doom Traveler from Cassata.
And double Doom Traveler, that's going to continue to keep Mary on the defensive here. She's not going to want to attack into this. And at this point, Joe's got enough on the table. Mary with no 3-drop, that's really surprising to me.
Yeah, that's very odd.
I mean, if anything, that might mean that she's trying to slow roll a Blasphemous Act, but the slowing a Blasphemous Act play is generally not very strong when your opponent has a
Doom Traveler.
Has
double Doom Traveler.
Double Doom Traveler on the table and a bunch of Anthem effects. So Mirren Crusader joined the force over there. 2 Doom Travelers into the red zone. One is in fact doomed. Fights with a Merciless Predator and loses that battle. Leaves behind a Spirit. Merciless Predator at least can block the Mirren Crusader, which is nice. Mary. Tapping out for a Huntmaster, perhaps?
Oh, Garrick. I was going to say,
That's
the only
much
4
better.
drops she has are Huntmaster and Garrick. Besides Phyrexian Metamorph, which she wouldn't have blue mana for anyway.
So Mary's going to fight with that Spirit token. And her Garrick will get to go... Oh, no.
Thinking about something here.
Yeah, I think the correct play here is to just fight the Spirit token. The Garrick goes to 2 and gets the flip. I mean, if you don't do that, then the Garrick's just going to lose a counter to that Spirit token.
I mean, does she really want it? She wants a 2/2 Wolf.
Okay, Mary's going to make a 2/2 Wolf here.
I've heard whispers of players thinking about Garrick Relentless in Legacy tomorrow. Might get to see that.
Oh, I mean, it's a really powerful spell. I see no reason why it wouldn't see play in Legacy at some point. We've seen how Elspeth and Jace have really done so well in that format, and Garrick Relentless is, while not as powerful as either of those 2 cards, it's certainly on the same playing field. Maybe not the same playing field as Jace, but certainly the same playing field as...
It's worth it's worth playing in Legacy, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be excited to see it actually on camera, though. All right, so looks like she manages to get rid of another Doom Traveler. Garrick becomes Garrick the Veil Cursed after taking a hit from, I believe, the Spirit token there.
See, the problem is that she would just have now, because she didn't kill that spirit token, she just gets further behind on the board, and now it's, even if she has a red creature or devil's play, it's basically impossible to protect her Garruk. So had she killed the spirit token last turn, I feel like she would be in a much different place. She could have, the Garruk would not have had anything to attack it, really.
Meanwhile, she's facing down a hero of Bladehold next turn.
Okay, so Mary's going to sacrifice her wolf and search her library. Let's see what she finds here.
Huntmaster of the Fells.
Now, unfortunately for Mary, Huntmaster of the Fells is a green creature that makes green wolves.
Yeah, and so he still can't kill that Crusader.
Yeah, I'm surprised she searched for a creature there, unless her hand is extremely bad. Just developing a board with Garruk seems like it's got to be the way to go right now.
Taps 5 here for, looks like, Blasphemous Act.
Yeah, and a Blasphemous Act, that's a perfect card there.
So that's why she did that. Sacrificed her wolf, got a Huntmaster. So she made use of her only creature and then cleared his board.
Yeah, and I mean, that actually makes it a pretty good play. She has a lot of cards in her hand. She could have made a wolf post-combat. Because now, you know, her opponent does have a Moorland Haunt in play, so it's nice to put a few counters on that Garruk, so...
Yeah.
It's not just in range all the time. Alright, another Hero Bladehold comes down for Joe. And I think one of the major issues in this match that we've been watching is that Joe's cards are just
so much
more powerful.
Yeah.
Alright, and Mary's going to make a Death Touch Wolf. And a Huntsmaster of the Fells comes down.
She's thinking about it.
Ooh, what else does she have? I'm interested to see what she's got.
But it looks like it's going to be Huntmaster?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the Huntmaster of the Fells. Oh, never mind. She also has a Batterskull in hand. That seems way better. Yeah.
Now there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got 3 Batterskull in the deck. Something that we haven't seen show up at all until this game.
Yeah, now that Batterskull should have a Germ token on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, a Leonin Relic Warder.
Well, just in time. Not that he may not have been holding that for a long time, but...
Yeah, the Mary's deck doesn't really have many artifacts or enchantments in it. Perhaps Joe kept the Relic Warders in because he assumed she had some sort of Sword plan. After all, she did win her first 2 rounds, and when you're playing against a Werewolf deck, you imagine, how did this win the first 2 rounds?
Yeah.
I guess she has swords in her deck because swords can win games.
That's an interesting logic there. That makes sense, though.
I mean, I might use that logic. Otherwise, Leonin Relic Warder is just really bad in this deck because it can face and split his own things and not hers.
Yeah.
But
Death Touch Wolf takes care of Hero of Bladehold. Garruk gets beat down from some soldiers.
Now Huntsmaster of the Fells is going to come down and show that he can
try to take over
pretty well
a game
in a board state like this.
Oh, is this going to be Immerwolf or Daybreak Ranger? Oh no, it's a Devil's Play. Okay. Uh-oh. Negate out of the sideboard.
Negate against the deck that's all creatures.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Not something you expect.
Yeah, not something you would expect at all. Then Mary gets to cast a Huntsmaster of the Fells and make a 2/2 Wolf and gain 2 life.
That is...
Ooh, Champion of the Parish from Joe, and not the card you want to draw off the top of your deck in the late game. Very, very strong turn 1 play, but not very good on turn 7.
Wants to cast a spell, though, just so the Huntmaster doesn't flip.
Yeah, and that's pretty important. Mary here can just pass the turn, and her Huntsmaster of the Fells will kill the Leonin Relic Warder and give her a Batterskull back. It's a really powerful effect. Let's see if she chooses to do that. Ooh, and Joe has no cards in hand, so remember, that would just be...
Flashback Devil's Play to kill it? Okay, that's one way to do it.
Now, what Mary could do is Mary could just pass the turn, and then her Huntsmaster would also flip, which is also an advantage.
Why? She just cast a spell.
Yeah, but now she can't. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like now she can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I like your original plan, her not playing anything and letting the Huntmaster deal with the Relic Warder on its own, and she
maybe this deck is very good because I mean Mary's averaging like a few mistakes per turn. She's still doing really well here.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, it just seems to me like why spend a card when your Huntmaster's going to flip and do it for you, you know? Before he even draws a card, you know?
Yeah. And then you still have
the Devil's Play
in your yard
to use whenever you need to,
To use when you cast Mirror Crusader, which she's still cold to right now.
Exactly.
But wasn't cold to last turn. All right. An Oblivion Ring on Huntsmaster of the Fells. Pretty good.
And Spirit coming over to knock Mary to her original life total.
Yeah, Mary dropping down to 20, that Spirit. And here Mary can start getting in for quite a lot here. I'm surprised she didn't attack with that Wolf last turn either. Alright, just attacking with the Batterskull. Again, I think she's missing a few points here. I mean, this Wolf can just freely be attacking at this point. There's basically no chance that Joe's going to block it. And, I mean, it's just free damage. Yeah, and she has Joe does block it, it's just awesome for her. Right. And she has she's not like at such a low life total that she needs to hold back a blocker. You know? Yeah. Oh, a second Batterskull. Yeah, another Batterskull. I mean, Joe needs to draw Shatterstorm now and cast it somehow. Ancient Grudge would work too, but it wouldn't work. Token. Got a Shimmering Grotto into Ancient Grudge draw. Exactly. Pretty good here. Ooh, and a Mirror Crusader. And Mirror Crusader, you know, Mirror Crusader's pretty awesome here. Now, remember, Mary doesn't have that Devil's Play in her graveyard anymore because she decided to use it instead of just passing the turn and killing her opponent's Relic Warder with Huntsmaster. She hasn't cast two Devil's Plays, has she? But she just cast one, and I know she flashed one back, but I'm trying to see, there's a Reckless Waif in the graveyard, and there's a Blasphemous Act, and there's something else at the bottom there. I think that's turned sideways to denote that it has been removed from the game. You're right, it's Devil's Play that was flashed back, you're right. I don't know how Joe gets out of this kind of situation facing double Batterskull. And also there's a Kessig Wolf run on Mary's side of the board too. So not only is she gaining 8 a turn. Alright, Mary attacking with both Batterskulls. The Mirror Crusader does have protection from black, but because Mary has this Kessig Wolf run, she can just this is actually like a decently advanced play, attacking with a couple black guys with a Kessig Wolf run into a Mirror Crusader. And Mary doesn't really have to worry about that Mirror Crusader killing her anymore because she's going to be gaining so much life off these Batterskulls. It's not so scary when you're plus, 16 life or something at the end of the combat step. Yeah, so, I mean, what she's probably going to want to do here is, what I would do is I would, I think I'd just let damage resolve and then return both Batterskulls to my hand. Or like return one to my hand and replay
it. Then she's got to fear the negate again. From
yeah, just like return a batter skull to my hand and replay it. That seems like a good play here. So.
No, that's not what she does.
No, that's not what she does at all.
She may. Oh, Daybreak Ranger and Green Sun Zenith
for 3.
I'm going to see Emerwolf here. Maybe. I mean, it's in the deck. I keep thinking every time she taps 3 or Green Suns for 3, I'm thinking it's going to be Emerwolf. We haven't seen that one yet.
I'm kind of confused. I mean, she could have just replayed some Batter Skulls, but like her double attack with the Batter Skulls would have been very good had she made the correct. But she just chose to let both germs die, and
I guess she's figuring she cleared a lot of his side of the board. She can still do the Batter Skull thing next turn if she wants, even though she can't attack with it right away. But you know, she can just load up with a ton of wolves on her side of the board. You know, I'm just trying to think of the other line of play here. So it is Emberwolf that she got, right?
Yeah. Now the Emberwolf does have Intimidate, so she's going to be able to equip these batter skulls and just kind of go to town.
That's true. Maybe she was thinking that too. Like, it doesn't have to be on the germ. It can actually be equipped to something else. So that might be exactly what she was thinking.
All right, so she gets to flip her Daybreak Ranger into Ravager of the Fells, which is an incredibly strong card in these types of matchups. Now, even if Joe has huge cards like Hero Blade Hold, Mary can just tap a single red mana and tap her...
and just kill, yeah.
Yeah. Tap the Daybreak Ranger. It's not a Ravager of the Fells, it is a... this Daybreak Ranger become...
right. Ravager of the Fells is the other side of Huntmaster.
Yeah. I think it's Nightfall Predator?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, let's look up Daybreak Ranger and just confirm that. Yeah, there we go. I mean, all the werewolves flip into werewolves jumping. Like, that's pretty much what they all look like, the artwork. Just draw a werewolf jumping.
Maybe they have flying and we just don't know about it.
They just pounce.
And none of them are on the ground.
Well, there's an Emberwolf with a Batter Skull, and it's looking grim for Cassata on this game. I mean, Batter Skull already made it tough, but she's got a ton of haymakers. Well, this'll do something. All right, Sword of War and Peace from Cassata, immediately equipped to the Mirren Crusader, and this is going to make a big difference. I mean, he only has 1 card in hand.
So he's only going to be gaining 2 off of this, but he's going to be attacking her for 4, which hits twice because of the double strike, so that's 8, and then if she has another card in her hand, she's going to take 10 because he gets 2 sword activations. That's going to put her down to 22. Unfortunately for Joe, Mary's multiple Batter Skulls on the intimidating Immerwolf is probably just going to be too much for him to handle.
Yeah, so he's at 12, she's at 22. And she equips the Emberwolf with the other Batter Skull.
That's what I would expect.
And enough to give it trample as well with the Kessig Wolf Run.
Alright, and the Kessig Wolf Run. Does she have another land? Over with it? No, but she's forcing Joe to, and Joe's gonna have to chump block with some tokens. You only have to block with 2 of them. Yep, he's dead no matter what.
Yeah,
she
I
just
was
gives trample with the
trying to
wolf
show,
run.
show him that I don't think there's a way he can block that will save him. Yeah, there it is.
Right.
Mary Jacobson with werewolves takes this match. Wow, you can tell she's pretty happy with that situation. I think I'd be happy too after having 2 Batter Skulls, an Emerald,
Emerald,
Huntmaster, even though it was
the
under
double
a
moon mist on game 1.
a flipped Daybreak Ranger. It's just